The very fact that this is the chief minister who's made it clear that he doesn't want to come to Delhi. How else do you accommodate a leader as tall as Siddaramaiah if not the CM post? Sagar.
Absolutely. And Nagarjuna has beautifully explained that how the optics work and how Siddaramaiah is hell-bent to stay back here in Karnataka. So you need to see the history. If you see the history, there was S.M. Krishna and Mallikarjun Kharge, and both were the tallest leader of Congress in Karnataka. And when they want to change in the politics of Karnataka, they were being summoned to Delhi. Mallikarjun Kharge was asked to contest the election, and he was made a chemical and fertilizers minister in the UPA's second term. Before that, in the first term, S.M. Krishna was made the governor, and thereafter he was summoned to Delhi. He was made external affairs minister. So Congress had an option in the past where whenever the strongest leader or a big leader from one particular state have to be shifted to somewhere else, and the second line of leader is been groomed, they have been summoned to a Delhi or given a different post. Now the Congress is out of power. They are in power only in 3 states, and they are not in power in the center as well. So they don't have other option like how they accommodated S.M. Krishna, how they accommodated Mallikarjun Kharge. They don't have another option for Siddaramaiah. They cannot make Siddaramaiah as a governor because they are not in power in the center, and they cannot give a central ministry like external ministry how they offer to S.M. Krishna and Mallikarjun Kharge because the Congress is not in power. So even High Command is in a dilemma how they have to accommodate if Siddaramaiah has been asked to give the power for D.K. Shivkumar. So there are a lot of calculation which has been done. So you need to understand the optics. The optics is quite clear. Siddaramaiah says that it is the High Command which have to take the decision. The ball is in the High Command's court. Whatever the High Command says that he will follow. And you should listen to D.K. Shivkumar. D.K. Shivkumar says that he is confident the High Command will take an appropriate decision. He is trying to highlight the pact that was there between Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar, and it is high time the Congress have to fulfill the promises. Remember, Siddaramaiah is one of the strongest mass leader in the state of Karnataka. He has helped Congress to come to power twice, and D.K. Shivkumar is one of the strongest party men who have worked for the development of the party. He helped the party to bounce back from one seat. Congress had won only one seat in 2019 in the Lok Sabha election, and thereafter the KPCC president resigned from the post, and D.K. Shivkumar was given the assignment. So he was one of those strongest leaders who has helped Congress to get good numbers and bringing the party back to power in the 2023. And he also says that there was an assurance which was given by Sonia Gandhi when she visited Tihar jail, stating that if you become the KPCC president, if you bring the party to power, you will be given the chief minister post. Now that is what the demand from D.K. Shivkumar. Yes, you have promised, High Command has promised, stating that if I bring the party to power, you need to reward him. And how we are going to reward, how we are going to facilitate Siddaramaiah, it is a big challenge in front of a High Command. Even if the High Command says that, okay, let's go, let's take a decision, there are a lot of calculation which has been done. Since Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar both said it will be the High Command. If at all, if there is a change happens in the state of Karnataka and Siddaramaiah has been asked to leave, then Siddaramaiah will blame the High Command, stating that it is the High Command which has asked me to go from power. Or else High Command had to take Siddaramaiah into confidence, make him understand, see, ever since you joined Congress party, you have been an opposition party leader for more than 7.5 years. You have been a chief minister for close to 7.5 years, as well as a coordination committee chairman for 1.5 years when the JDS was in power. You were always in power, whether it is an opposition leader or a chief minister, and you are nearing 80. And we have to groom the second line leaders. You have to allow one of the leaders to grow and one of the leaders to become the mass leader in the state of Karnataka. So you should give an option to D.K. Shivkumar. So you should voluntarily say that you are tendering the resignation, keeping the age in your mind, and ensure that Congress have to come back to power in the state. So that is the reason you have to make way for the junior leaders. You have enjoyed all the powers in Karnataka, and there was no other leader who could even oppose you all this while except D.K. Shivkumar after 2023. So you need to make it clear, saying that it's not the High Command. High Command doesn't want to be in bad books of Karnataka people. Remember, Karnataka Congress had lost first votes of Lingayat after Virendra Patil, when Virendra Patil was been unceremoniously removed from the chief minister post when Rajiv Gandhi was the prime minister of India, where he was being asked to leave. After that, Lingayat had hardly voted for Congress, and till then there is no damage control which has been done by Congress after Virendra Patil, and they don't
That's the
want to
reason
face
why taking a decision
similar
to not, in fact, accommodate DKS could cause the Congress dear, isn't it, Apurva? Having said that, tell us if anything else has been offered right now to DKS or not, given that it's a difficult decision to take to remove Siddaramaiah from the CM's post. Has DKS been given alternatives?
Well, Sneha, in fact, DKS has already been clear about what he has wanted, which is that he wants the chief ministerial post, and that is something that he has not been shy from disclosing to, the AICC. There, even when the Congress came to power in 2023, we did see how this demands were already kept quite open and up and center to the AICC and the High Command to decide what they want to do with the wishes of DK Shivkumar. Let us remind people what DK Shivkumar is for the Congress there. One of the top strategists and somebody who has made quite an impact for the Congress in the recent elections as well. DK is one of the valuable members for the AICC, and it's not something that the AICC will want to let go of that easily. And yes, while you do see that Siddaramaiah is a stalwart leader there, it is also not. It will be foolish for the AICC not to consider the equation that DK has brought in for them, especially when it comes to states like Karnataka, Telangana, and several others where Congress is currently in power here. So yes, DK has held quite value for the AICC Congress, and for them, they want to de-escalate this situation as soon as possible, because without this de-escalation, this breakfast that is happening today and what took place on Saturday there, it looks like both these leaders will be set in splitting across the Congress divide here, and that is something that the AICC cannot afford to have at this moment, especially given that Congress in Karnataka for them is a strong base as well, and I think that's what the AICC has planned for. So far, they have remained mum, they have remained behind, taken the back seat, let's see how this plays out. But once this fight had taken to social media, this fight had come out in public quite openly, where even the BJP, JDS, and other alliances had also been talking about this fight that took place, especially talks within the Congress itself, MLAs on one side going camp Sidda, camp DK, and saying that, we are offering you support. There were caste, that came into this equation, Lingayats here and several OBCs, communities going ahead, doing pujas. All of this took to a dirty turn that took place last week. And after that, when things had escalated and it was out of hand, that's when the AICC finally decided to, react and respond on the situation, and which is why they had also intervened as well. Had the AICC not intervened at the time that they had intervened, most likely DK would have taken that flight to Delhi. Would he have, gotten that interview or that time to meet with Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and Mallikarjun Kharge? That is something that we would have never known. And, DK would have made plans. We saw DK Suresh there, who had DK's brother, who had gone to Delhi a day before this breakfast that happened, to go to Delhi and tighten around his corners and see who all can be the people that can back DK Shivkumar. So we've seen all of this being brought out by DK brothers there, and on the other side, Siddaramaiah being staunch, saying, listen, I have this commitment and I have this wish that I want to fulfill by February, and that's something that I want to do. So had this meeting not conspired by the AICC, had they not put their foot down saying, if you both don't go ahead and speak, then it's only not going to be any invite of such either to either of you over here. I think ultimately the point was that they wanted both of them to sit down, set their differences aside and speak, and that's what we're seeing. On Saturday, we did see that there was a unanimous press meet tweet that came out from DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. They said everything is fine, but it looks like, there is still some kind of, message that needs to be sorted, some channeling that needs to be done, fine tuning needs to be done between either of them to ensure that going ahead, they do focus on one goal, and the goal that the AICC has given for them is the 2028-2029 elections. Sneha.
That's right. Purva, be with us.